Our second scripture verse that we use during the trip is from Philippians chapter 4, verses 10 through 14. I'm going to read that for you. I rejoice in the Lord greatly that now at last you have revived your concern for me. Indeed, you were concerned for me, but had no opportunity to show it. Not that I'm referring to being in need, for I have learned to be content with what I have. I know what it is to have little, and I know what it is to have plenty. In any and all circumstance, I have learned the secret of being well-fed, and of going hungry, of having plenty, and of being in need. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. In any case, it was kind of you to share my distress. So distress is one of those things that we were in as soon as we arrived at the Golden Age Center, which you can see right there. It looks a little rough, so we were very concerned as we pulled up and we were like, we're supposed to stay here? But the real fun began when we learned out, in fact, we weren't staying at the Golden Age Center because the volunteer center in the basement that we've been promised to stay in was not finished. So our fearless leaders talked to the leader, Jim, who is working with all the habitat stuff, and he's like, oh, you guys can stay in the Christ Church. It's like an Episcopal church, and it's down the road. So we pull up, and we find this beauty built in 1871. Nothing much had changed. We get there, we walk in the basement, and we're looking around at each other, and we're like, oh man, this is gonna be rough. So we finally decide that we're going to stay in this church. There was talk of possibly moving to the only hotel in the town, but we stayed in the church. We slept in the basement and in the sanctuary with these mattresses that are meant to be in the Golden Age Center, but obviously weren't because it wasn't finished. But so we had a very interesting bonding experience. We shared one bathroom for only 19 of us the entire week. So we were very familiar with everyone's bathroom schedules. We got to share meals because the kitchen was there. It was a very nice facility. Once we got past the very initial shock that we weren't staying where we were promised and that things weren't exactly as nice as we had hoped, but it kind of relates to the fact that a lot of people in that area don't live in nice quality places, and so even this is probably better than somewhere that people live there. So it was very eye-opening. We did learn a little bit about each other while we were there. We learned that Kevin Franklin is a heavy snorer. So the boys upstairs in the sanctuary were having a little trouble getting to sleep. We learned that Mackenzie is a fly killer. She kills so many flies, and that place was infested. So I think her record was 30 flies. And on the other end, we learned that Dakota is terrified of anything that crawls, like bugs, anything like that. So we had a really good bonding experience. I don't know how many, I can't even tell you how many people laid in my bed as they were sitting on the ground. Daniel messed it all up at one point and then made it nicely, and another point Adam did the same thing and then cooked us breakfast in bed. So we ended up having a good time. We showered at a campground because there was no showers in the church. So we took van loads and did group showers. The boys like to sing in the shower together. So all in all, it was a good bonding experience and really eye-opening to see that, sometimes you may not be expecting things and you just kind of have to roll with the punches. And that's what we did this trip. We rolled with the punches. So that's that. Our accommodations, they worked out eventually.